Recently, the Steubenville rape case has been all over the news in America and here in Australia, and for kind of the wrong reasons. A lot of the reporting has been criticism of the original reporting, in which CNN basically sympathised with the two boys who were convicted of raping the 16-year-old girl. CNN said that these boys had promising young lives and they were lovely young boys and all that, kind of forgetting that they brutally raped a drunk and passed out 16-year-old girl. But don't worry about that, because the girl was drunk, so she deserved it, obviously. I couldn't wrap my head around this and had trouble thinking that a news site would even consider reporting it this way. Victim blaming, essentially, which is rife within rape cases and rape in general, having the woman or the young girl feel bad for what was done to her. And then I came across a transcript of the text messages sent and received between the two boys who raped this young girl, and it brought tears to my eyes. Not because they were respectable, promising young men, because they were disgusting, brutal, pathetic excuses for human beings. Now, I did think as to whether I should make a video on this, as it's hard to weigh up whether they should get attention or not from the media. That kind of question of, do we give them the FaceTime on the news, or do we just ignore them because they are citizens worth ignoring in society? And also because these text messages really explain how things went down, and this poor girl, who hasn't been named for her own safety and for her own dignity, I really struggled as to whether I should read some of these out or even discuss them. But I thought, in response to the terrible reporting and the sympathy with the two rapists, I thought this would be a great way to show just how terrible these two boys were, and how if you really knew what was going on, you wouldn't feel a tiny bit of sympathy for these two boys, as I find that they are monsters. So I'm just going to read out to you some of the text from the transcript heard in the court case and see what you think. So from what I can gather from the situation of what happened, this young girl got very drunk, and I don't know whether she was persuaded to come home with these two boys or did it on her own accord or was made. That's not really the issue here. The issue is what happened once she got there. So apparently she passed out, and these are the text messages that were sent from these two boys to other friends or between each other, or just general text messages. She looks dead. LMAO, laughing my ass off. She is. Should have moved her around to get a better angle. Now, this is in regards to the boys taking photos of her naked and passed out. Did you F her? She came through, bought food, got F'd. She knew what was up. You a felon? Not really. You shouldn't have did that if she was that hammered. So this one of the rapists knew that she was past the point of giving consent. She was passed out. But apparently she knew what was up, which is just disgusting. I don't know how anyone can blame this girl for what happened. Anyway, here's some more. She was naked the whole time, but she was like dead. If she tells someone, it could get back to her parents. She knows what happened. I'm pissed that all I got was a hand job. I should have raped her like everyone thinks I have. You shoulda, lol. She was awake the whole time, lol. She's gross, lol. I could keep going. There is some much more terrible stuff that they said about her that I don't really want to repeat in video form. I don't really want those sound bites of me saying that out there. But I just wanted to kind of shove the doubt out of anyone's mind that this girl was to blame for what happened, and that these two boys were promising young men who were football stars and had their whole lives ahead of them. Of course they did. And then they decided to rape and take pictures of a 16-year-old girl who had passed out. Now, she has to live with that for the rest of her life. She has to live with this case being so public, which is, as before, why I kind of ummed and ahed about whether to make a video about it. But I thought it just had to be shown how terrible these boys were. And I'm sure my video will be the least of her worries. But I had to share that, as it broke my heart to read what these boys were saying about her. And then when you add on the fact that they actually did all these things physically to her, they didn't just joke about it in text message, they joked about it and did it. Yeah, it makes my blood boil. If I were the prosecutor, I would give them life in jail. I would happily let them rot in jail. But apparently they're only getting a few years because they're minors. And of course, when you're 16, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know that rape is wrong. Oh gosh, of course not. At 16, you're only allowed to drive. You're only given responsibilities in society. If you cannot note my sarcasm there, then I'm being very sarcastic, in that I think they should be tried as adults, because they did a horrific thing with the knowledge that what they were doing was bad, as demonstrated in their text message exchanges, being worried about found out by the parents, and taking pictures and saying that they're felons and joking about it. So I truly believe that these two boys should rot in jail for the rest of their lives because they are scum. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you in case you, even in the back of your mind, thought that maybe this girl was to blame just a tiny bit for this. And that is victim blaming, and that is something that upsets me greatly, because it still shows that in 2013 we haven't got past the idea that women aren't as important or equal as men when it comes to assault, whether it be sexual or just physical, and it's disgusting. So I thought I'd share that with you, and I'll put the link to the rest of the text message list in the description box. Terrible.